Looks like it's live.
We- Sweet, my computer's still like spinning. There we go. All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Friday. Hope you've all had an amazing week. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Brittany. I am a holistic nutritionist and one of the admins of this group, along with Chris. And we want to make this group just such a valuable resource for all of our members. So we've been bringing you experts on different health topics. And we also have so many practitioners in this group, and we want to provide lots of value for you too. So I'm super excited to have my friend Dana Silvestri here again to bring you guys some tips on sales and marketing, because I know that I got into this business to help people get healthy, to serve people. And I didn't know anything about marketing, sales, anything like that. And it's something that I know many of us struggle with. So I'm super excited to have him here to come bring you guys lots of value and talk about sales and marketing for your health and wellness business. So thank you, Dana. Thanks. Hi, how are you?
I am doing amazing. Thank you so much, Brittany, for having me on again. It's always a privilege, and I just love sharing this material. So again, thank you. And thanks for just being you and being in this group and providing, like everyone that's watching right now, Brittany gives it her all to provide as much value to each one of you and make sure that this group is really engaging and other people in the group, the community, are providing value to each other. So I'm just excited to be on here and just help you wherever you're at. So the first things first, I always like to ask is where are you from? If you can drop it in the comments, where are you from? And are you in business? Are you looking to start an online business? And if so, what is that? So really just drop that in the comment right now so we can start to see who's on here, who's watching, and you can start to really build that community aspect. But again, Brittany, thank you so much for having me on here and whatnot. And for everyone else that's watching right now or listening, I was on here, I think it was Tuesday. It was Tuesday. Feels like weeks for some reason. It was like 3 days ago. I talked about a paradigm shift. I talked about self-image, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind in the body. And I'm really someone that combines the mindset, and I call it a paradigm shift. One of my mentors, Bob Proctor, he introduced me to that concept. I combined that with something I call hyper attraction marketing that I've really discovered through my journey online with marketing, with the sales processes. So that's what we're going to do today is we're going to hop into exactly what I've learned. And again, I posted it in here like last Friday. It was like my story, but basically I've used these same concepts to grow an online coaching consulting business past six figures in a little more than a year and a half, or maybe it was 13 or 14 months. I'm starting from no knowledge, no experience, and no money. So I can sit here right now and say it doesn't matter where you're at. If you have all the degrees and you keep learning more and searching for knowledge, maybe this is your time to take action and actually begin on the business side, because having the degrees and everything is great, but then it's always the business side and the marketing and the content creation and the sales processes is a whole different game. And I don't say that to scare you. I say that to empower you that you're capable of doing that. So maybe it's time for you to step in, and maybe this presentation or this conversation will help you take those first steps. I really hope so. And if you're someone just kind of curious and starting out and wants to learn about this, it's for you as well. And for someone that's really just starting out, mindset is key too, because if you don't have the mindset to apply the strategies and the marketing things that we're going to go over briefly in this presentation and the sales strategies, then nothing's going to change. So it's the big problem today is in the age of information, ignorance is really a choice, because you can go on YouTube, you can go into programs, you can pay for certain things like I did, you can find mentors, or you can be in communities like this that are free. But the thing is, until you actually apply the knowing, apply the material, apply everything you got from college or your certification or high school, it doesn't even matter where you got it from, but you need to apply that. So I just want to stress that out before we get going, because this will just be another presentation, but I want to give you some action steps too, so you can really get started on things. And I hope that's going to really positively influence people as well. So I'm just looking at the comments too, Brittany. I see Levy or Levi's on here. She said, hey, everyone. We have, who else we have on here?
Jeffrey here.
Irene.
If you're on here live, guys, say hello. Tell us where you're from and what you do.
Irene from Woodridge, Virginia, I believe that is. She's not yet in business. Irene, what business are you looking to get into? I'm curious. Comment in the below as well. All right, I'm going to share my screen in the meantime. You can see everything good?
Yep.
Okay. So I really like to use visuals because I can sit here all day and I can really give you a raw talk off my heart, which is powerful sometimes, but I want to give some visuals, some value. You can feel free to screenshot these. These are things that I've created and I'm allowed to use, but you can screenshot this. I just ask not to, you use it in your own thing. So whatever, you can share it with people as well. But really the concept that I came up with is hyper attraction marketing. What that meant to me was I saw people, there's two types of marketing. There's organic marketing in your business, and then there's paid. You pay for ads, you pay for advertisements and everything like that. For online, I'm going to gear everything towards an online business because that's what I have an experience in, but it could be applicable to other types of businesses as well. But my whole philosophy and what I really teach is how this is what everyone really wants. Like Brittany mentioned, is you want to have an impact, you want to help a lot of people, but the thing is, you need to know what you're offering. You need to know who that person is, your dream clients, your avatars. You need to know what your offer is, and then you got to put out content online that does it in a way that attracts that person. And it doesn't matter, trust me, it doesn't matter if you don't even have, you just started Facebook yesterday, right? Or if you've been on Facebook and you don't put out content. This right here is just me suggesting some things that's worked for me. So it may or may not work for you, I don't know, but I would just, again, I always say this, keep an open mind with this stuff. It's powerful. It's worked for me. It's blown me past things that I never thought I could accomplish as well. So keep in mind, it's the mindset aspect combined with what I'm about to show you. So again, everybody comment below, like, what does marketing mean to you? Like, what's marketing really mean to you? The definition that I really like, and I think I adopted it from Dean Graziosi, and he said it's a repelling who you don't want and attracting who you want. So that's what it comes down to. Is number one is, like, you can see down here this diagram here, which is kind of like a house and kind of like not really, I guess, but down it has what, who, why, and way. So we're gonna get into this. I call this the 4 W's of marketing, and what those 4 W's do, I'll show you on the next slide. But it builds out your marketing funnel essentially. So that creates marketing, and then the marketing that you create with your messaging and your content and going live and certain things like that. And you really need to get online nowadays because technology is only going to advance right now. It gives you mobility. It gives you the ability to work from wherever you want, to help people through Zoom and everything like that. So it's okay if you have an in-person business, but I would really start to really entertain this idea because it will be a whole different lifestyle. It'll help more people. You'll be able to have access from wherever you are as long as you have Wi-Fi too. So again, we have what, who, way, and why, which creates marketing. And marketing really is serving and providing value. Okay, people always say, oh, I want to earn more money. There's a basic law of the universe, and it literally states the amount of service you provide, the more value that you provide, the more money you earn. So if you can concentrate on providing value and service, a factor of it, as long as you're open to receive that money, and that's a whole other thing about money beliefs, and we can't get into that today, unfortunately. Got to keep it very, very narrow today, but
that'll be next time.
Huh?
I said that'll be next time.
Does anyone have 4 hours right now? We can do it. and on the top of the pyramid, I'm not saying that money is like the most important part. I'm saying, but you need a profit to be in business. Keep that in mind. Obviously, the mission of the business is to serve and provide value, whatever industry you're in, but you need money, obviously, to make that flow. So that's like basically what marketing is all about in that sense. So before we get into I didn't forget about the 4 W's. I'm going to break those down for you, but I want to really break it down first is you got to do market research. Okay. What's that really mean? That means going online. That means if you have a health center, looking into your competition, seeing what they're doing. If you want, I have a coaching business. So I have coaching on one side that's about mindset and paradigm shifts and habits and everything like that. And then I have consulting, which is more about marketing, sales, and growing a coaching business online or consulting business online or creating a program to help people, sharing your knowledge online. So the reason I mentioned that, I'll give you examples from that. is what I would do is I would find people that are in your industry and they're in your market. So they're either in health, wealth, or relationships. And I assume this is a health group. So a large majority of the people here are probably in the health market. And maybe you're in multiple markets. I don't know, but I would say the health market. So you want to find if you want to start a coaching business, find other coaches, see what they're posting, see what their offer is, see what they're really doing, study their websites of different, if you have a business that, you do massages, go look at the other websites and you're just looking to see what's working. You're not stealing people's stuff. You're not copying. You can model. That's fine. There's a lot of modeling going on, meaning like I could show you this diagram here and then you could recreate it the way you want based on what you saw. I don't think that's stealing or anything, but you want to start to do market research and pay close attention to any ads that you're hit with as well. So you probably see those ads that you don't pay attention to. Be careful if you click on them, they'll retarget you. But what I do now is like in my coaching business, I get hit with coaching ads. Hey, do you want to grow your business to 30K months or whatever it is? And I click on it just to see like how they're talking and what they're offering sometimes, just to see if I can improve my offer or what I need to do on my end. So that's a way to do it. And then studying books and programs in your market, you can really go on Amazon and you can look up books about mindset. You can look up books about marketing. You can look up books about health, about certain types of diets and see what's working and see people's comments. So obviously this sounds a little tedious, but I promise if you need to do this spot right here so that everything else will flow to it. And you want to create a really good offer around everything. So you can even buy products that are around your offer as well. Like I've been in, I don't even know how much money I've spent on coaching programs, but a lot of money. And I really see like what people are doing and they've taught me, me going on here, like the information that I give you and that I share with you is a combination of mine, my mentors, everything combined together, doing it my way. So you want to do what's working. You don't want to like recreate the wheel or anything, and follow other people on social media platforms as well. So what I would do is I would write down like one step that you can do today to really look into this. And whether you are just getting started or, you're already making money in your business, how can you follow the right people or even buy people's, have them mentor you through that process because they have a way that works. That's the beautiful thing about strategy. Most strategies work. Like you can have 30 different diets and everyone's like, oh, which diet works? But it's really like which diet works for you, and are you doing the things that you actually following that diet? They all work, but we all have different bodies. So the big thing it comes down to that mindset too. So that's why I combine mindset with the strategy. So does that all make sense, Brittany? Like market research and kind of researching what people want too.
Yep, absolutely. And I know that, when I first started, it is a lot of work initially. It's a lot of work initially to go. I went to Amazon and I looked at books in my niche and I was reading reviews and seeing what people were saying. And then that way that I can use their language and the words that they're using when they describe what they're struggling with, so that, I can attract the people that I'm trying to attract. So yeah, it makes total sense, Dana. This is great tips here. So you guys like pick something on this list. Like if you're, pick something and implement it. That's the part. He can give you all this knowledge, but you've got to go implement it to really get this thing to work. So pick something from here and, do something today that you can, move your business forward. We do have some comments too here. We got some answers. We got Shelby here from Houston. She's finishing up the master's course for health coaching with the Dr. Sears Institute. Irene, when you asked her earlier, she's doing a peer-to-peer recovery training for her business that she hasn't started yet. And then we got Shelby answered when you asked about marketing, putting yourself out there and utilizing any resources you are given.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's exactly true.
Yep.
And I have a couple comments on those as well while we're speaking about it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to bring it up on my phone.
That was hard.
So Shelby said, putting yourself out there. Yeah, that's right, Shelby. One thing about Shelby also said she's part of a course with health coaching for Dr. Sears Institute. So my question to you, Shelby, on that's great. More information. Does that program show you how to get into the market, how to create content, how to market, how to do sales, and bring you through a process? That's what you want to start to think about. If it does, that's great. If it doesn't, That's really what an online business is. So, it's really going into this. It's pretty cool, the internet, honestly. If it's used the right way, it's like a whole different world. It's going into this other world, this internet we call it, and connecting with people in that way. And the way that I do it is direct response marketing. So the way I do it is I build relationships with people, and that's what I'm focused on first. It's not just pitching everyone or doing these certain things. It's building relationships. So that's something to think about. And then also, Joshua said on Wednesday, my friend sent me information about Dana, Silvestri, me. Now Brittany is live with you.
That was funny. I was like, oh my goodness, what a small world, right? The internet.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. But yeah, so basically that's it. And Brittany's right. There's a whole the niches, the riches are in the niches, right? That whole thing. But again, you have to know, and we'll talk about the who. That's what the who is. You have to know who it is that you're after, so you can narrow down your messaging. You can narrow down your marketing online. And when you create content, when you go live on video. So the number one, I don't know if it's the number one, but it was the number one for me. Reason why 2 years ago I didn't want to go live. I was really scared. I remember the first time sitting there, maybe it was 2019, 3 years ago. I was sitting there and it's the button to go live. And I was really staring at it for 10 minutes. And all I had to do was click it. And then I wouldn't get up from my chair. So I was like sitting in my chair, but I was looking at the button, but my emotions are like, it was crazy. My emotions are going so wild because I hadn't worked on my mindset as much as, I was working on it, but not to what it's at right now. It's a work in progress every single day. It's always like the more that you work on it, the more work you have to do, the more you learn. So I was sitting there in my chair and I just said, I'm not kidding. It must've been 8 to 10 minutes. I just sat there and just looked at that button. And then eventually I just clicked it and I had no choice. I just started talking and then I survived. I survived the experience. And then my brain was like, oh, because your brain really thinks you're going to die. Like if you face a challenge a lot of times, it's like, so I really was like feeling like I was going to die. I made it through and I was actually pretty decent at it. People were commenting and I'm not saying to like, be very careful with, I don't pay a lot of attention to external things like circumstances, people, and like in the sense that when they say good things about me, or if they send me a message that they hate me and I'm an ass or whatever, like I won't put too much attention on that because it's like the image that we hold of ourselves is the most important. You want to be humble, you want to provide value to people and provide service. If you're leading with your heart, obviously all these other people, maybe they have things going on with them. So that's another thing too, is when you start to create content, just make sure that you know what your values are and you know what your offer is and you know what market you're in, which most of the time would be health, mine would be wealth. And there's relationships, maybe it's a mixture, and just keep moving forward. That's what it's all about. So it's like people always are like, oh, like what helped you become successful or something. And it's like, oh, consistency. It's true because it took me, and I don't even know. It all depends what your definition of success is, right? And everyone's is different. Like a janitor at the school could be successful if that's what they want to do in life. Someone that's a mom with the family could be successful. So everyone's definition is different. I think it's really a feeling, and so it took a very long time for me to even like define what success is. So that's where I'm getting at. This has nothing to do with the marketing, but what I would do is I would define what success means for you personally. Because if you don't have a definition of success and really a definition of words just gives you a feeling, like we think in pictures, but if you don't know what it feels like to be successful, when you get there, you're not going to know. So you're going to be in this loop. I don't mean to go too deep right now, but you're going to be in this loop of always going after that next thing. And maybe you'll have all the achievements, you'll have all the degrees and stuff. So I would do that. That's like number one, right? Write down, what is your definition for success? Make that an action step. So then when you get there, you're like, oh, I feel fulfilled, because fulfillment's huge in that process as well. Fulfillment combined with that success. But we'll continue on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say one thing with the Facebook Lives. I totally resonate with that. And now I come on here all the time and I can do this, no issues. But the first, 2 years ago when I started my business and the coach I was working with was like, you need to go live at least once a week. And I was like, and it was like 10 minutes of me just like pacing back and forth. And like, I had it all ready to go. All I needed to do was push the button and I would just, like hyperventilate. And you do, as you work on yourself and, your mindset and everything, it gets so much easier. We do have Shelby answered you here. I don't know if you can see the comment here, Dana, on what her program is teaching.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
So she,
And no, it's so small for me right now because it's on my phone. I can't. I have really good eyes, but it's not that good.
she said, we haven't really, he's scratched the surface on marketing. The course focuses more on psychological and behavioral changes people go through when making health changes. This is why I'm really interested on how do you put your own marketing material together? How do you find your audience, and where should you start? Those are great questions.
3 different questions. Let's take a look. So what we'll do is we're going to go back to this question at the end, because I think I'll answer some throughout the presentation. So Shelby, bear with me in there, and I'll go over that at the end. But I think the next couple things that we go through will answer that. Joshua said Facebook doesn't allow me to go live. Joshua, stop making excuses. You can go live. I'm just kidding. We talk to me. We'll figure it out. I'm planning to go live Facebook and another service outside of Facebook. Yeah, go live on Instagram, man. I mean, that's what it all is all about. You don't have to go live on Facebook. Just, and if you, it's the muscle, it's the courage muscle. Like, how do you get through fear is by doing courageous things. And the more that you do courageous things, you identify with, oh, I'm a courageous person. That's what I do. I very like successful people. I keep using that term, but I've studied all the books and all that stuff and applied it too, which is the point. Is when I've found out what my weaknesses are, and obviously people say develop your strengths. I think it's the point. If you want to be a coach, you want to develop your coaching skills. But the thing is, you still want to have strengths in those other areas. Like, I hated speaking. I didn't think I was good at speaking. I was petrified to do it. I grew up shy. You could never pay me. You couldn't pay me to speak anywhere like 5 years ago, or whatever. And now I'm speaking on stages, doing stand-up comedy. So the example I have here for you, Joshua, and everyone else is, I went and looked for the thing that scared me. I went and found a stand-up comedy 6-week class and did some professional stand-up comedy. I did improv. I just finished up improv. I was scared. So if you can pinpoint what scares you, and then you have a process to break through the fear, that's the key. And actually I can teach all about that too. That's a whole other topic, is breaking through fear. But let's go back. I will go back to the mindset on Tuesday that I did. We touched a little bit on on how we have faith and fear. And those are opposites. And fear comes from doubt and worry on a conscious level. Okay. And it gets manifested on a subconscious level as fear, and then in your body's anxiety. So yeah, bottom line, you got to face the thing that scares you to break through. And it's pretty simple, but there is a process for it. But we'll go back here. The what, the who, the why, and the way. What is this? I'm still going to delay it a little bit. So basically, no matter where you're at, the goal is simple as this. Is you want to help your clients get from where they are before, the pain that they have right now, whether it's the pain that they're experiencing something unhealthy, maybe they're overweight, maybe they have some disease. For my instance, maybe they want to start a business. Maybe they don't know marketing, they don't know sales, they're having struggles with mindset, and you want to help them get to the goal, right? So where they want to be, the desire after, they're healthy, they feel good about themselves, they're confident, they have a business, they're making money. So very simple. That's the point of your offer, your program, whatever it is, the things that you do. In some sense, I'm more in the coaching sense. I have programs, and I go on Zoom and I help people through this process. But for you, that could be helping someone have pain in the massage and the desire that they get. So you got to, whatever your area is, you got to relate it to that. And then the arrows there are basically for a program like I would have, it would be modules and steps to get there. For whatever your process, if it was a massage, I'm sure you go through some steps to get there. So you're going to have those steps to get in that process. For what we're going to stay on topic here for the marketing and sales, like right now, I'm getting you from, you have some pain or something you do deep down, or you want to learn more. You want to learn more because you have some sort of pain and you have some sort of desire to learn more. And I'm giving you a little bit of steps. So what you can see, these lines right here, is really what I call, those are steps of awareness. So you're gaining more awareness. The more awareness that you have, you can achieve that goal. So for example, if you want to start an online business in whatever industry you're in, or say it's just coaching business like I did, and I had no money, I had no experience, and sometimes the pain can be created. Like, I was in a 9-to-5 job in 2017, and I could have kept there and I could have stayed there and been comfortable. I knew that there was something within me that would, over 10 or 20 years, like, it would have got really painful. So I started to act on that. But basically, I gained more awareness of how to create, a 6-figure business. So So the only reason that you're not earning 10K a month or 20K a month or 30K a month, or you're not helping those people, or you don't have clients, is your awareness of how to do it. Because if you were aware to how to do it, it wouldn't be an issue. Does that make sense, Brittany? It's just breaking it down like this. So we have to put those steps together to make the client aware.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. No, that's perfect sense. You explained that perfectly.
Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of people are stuck. So that's just being stuck on that side. So here are the 4 W's, and this is what Brittany was really talking about, and I'm excited. Do we have any other comments right now?
No, not yet.
If anyone has questions, comments, please just drop them. Brittany and I will be looking at them. She's probably a little bit better at it right now than me, but we'll make use of that. So the offer for me, it would be like a coaching program, or it'd be like hyper attraction marketing. It would be the program I'm offering. I'm sorry, hyper attraction marketing wouldn't be the offer, but it'd be the program that I'm offering. So whatever you're offering as the solution is basically what we're going to go into here. So we have the 4 W's is what I call it, is the who. So who's your dream client, your niche, or your niche? So it could be you. Who really is that? It could be coaches, it could be parents, it could be married couples, it could be teachers. So I want you to think about that right now. Like, who is that person? And if you don't know, if you didn't know this before, this is a good time to think about this. This is a good time to write this down too, so you can actually get clear on this. Because the first thing that you need in marketing is clarity. So if you want to comment, like who are the people that you target? Who are the people that you like to work with? Are they children? Are they coaches? Then the other thing that we talked about is, what market is it? So is it health, relationships, or wealth? There's 3 major markets. Health could be fitness. It could be helping people with their diets. It could be coaching in that aspect. It could be massages, health that way. Wealth could be starting a business. Like for mine, it would be starting an online business. It could be investing. Relationships. It could be relationships with partners. It could be relationships with other people. So you just start to think about, what is your who, and then the last part of the who is the demographics and the psychographics. So the demographic is really like the age of the person, male or female, what location are they in? Are they in the United States? That is secondary to psychographics. So that's more for like paid advertisements. I'm keeping it very simple here. So just bear with me if you have questions. The psychographics is the more important part. So this is so important for marketing and sales. The psychographics is, what is the pain that your ideal client, your dream client is facing? What keeps them up at night? What are their desires? Who they want to be, what they want in life, what are the material things they want? What are they struggling with on a daily basis? What do they want to learn? So it's all these questions. So why is this so important? Is because if you want to have an online business, you're going to have do this to a certain extent. I have an online business. I create a lot of content and videos, and I enjoy that process. But I also still, obviously, this is how I know Brittany, I still go in person. And some people don't understand that. They think if you have an online business, like, you don't go in person, but you can go to in-person networking. You can go to events. You can meet people that way too, but you want to station it online. So this stuff actually works for businesses that are not online as well, but I'm just giving you the example of that. So you want to get it into your client's head. So then when I'm creating a post, and we'll get into different types of posts, but if I'm creating a post, I can start to talk to that person's desires. I can talk to their pains. So if you have someone that wants to go to the gym, I'm not going to message about how, it could work, but I'm not going to message about how I've been going. This is the big difference. I've been going to the gym since I was 16. Okay. And that was a whole different story, how that started. But if I'm going to talk to someone, say my ideal client is someone that is looking to go to the gym that has never gone, right? Versus someone that's been going for 10 years, your messaging, your whole conversation is going to be different. You can get clients either way, but if they're just starting out, I could put in messaging, or I could talk to them on the phone, and I could say, this is how I felt. Like, I relate to, this is how I felt when I never gone to the gym before. So a question that you could ask, like a hook, would really be like, so are you looking to just start going to the gym? And then the whole conversation would just be like, just show up at the gym and do a 5-minute workout. But if you're talking to someone that has been going to the gym for, 10 years or so, the whole conversation is probably going to be about, how can I get more muscle? How can I get more in shape? How can I change my diet around? I've tried all these things before. So that person's probably going to be easier in the sense of they're going to be confident they've tried certain things. So I don't want to overwhelm anyone. It's great to just know like you want to help people in this niche. But I'm saying the more clear that you can get in the beginning, it's going to help you. But keep in mind, and this is very important, your business is always adjusting. So it's always going to be adjusting. You don't need to figure this all out today, but you need to get started. Okay, so that's the who. Do we have any questions about the who, or Brittany, any comments about the who?
Nothing yet. If you guys have any questions or comments, drop them down. That way he can answer anything. Shelby says not overwhelming, great info with capital letters. So thanks, Shelby.
Awesome.
I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
Awesome. I tend to talk really fast and get really excited, and sometimes I drop so much at once. It's like people are just like overwhelmed.
Right.
So I'll talk really slow for this one. So we're going to talk about the what. The problem they are facing that you resolve or desire. So the what is the problem they're facing, the pains that they're facing, or their desire. So examples with, oh, they want to get clients. They're having pain doing that. They don't know marketing. They don't know sales. They're just out there, just throwing a hook into the ocean, just hoping with no bait on it, and hoping like some fish bites it. Maybe a drunk fish will bite it and they'll get a client. But is that ethical? I don't know. Have connections. Share your knowledge online for money. So what is that? The problem, the pain, the goals, desires, and the guaranteed results. A really good program or a really good offer is going to have like a guaranteed, I call it guaranteed results, or like a big promise. So, oh, you come into my program, you're going to get your first client. Or, you come into my, it could be simple. It doesn't have to be even about that. It could be, I have a program that's going to help people go live for the first time. So you pay me $50 and it's it's a 1 hour thing, and the whole goal is to make you go live. So we go on there, everyone pays, say 30 people show up, they pay $50. I'm not saying to do this, just an example. And at the end of it, everyone goes live on their phone, like mission accomplished. They got their money's worth. They knew the value is probably way worth. I mean, for me, to do my first live, I would have done anything for it. And that's the stepping stone. So anyways, you have to have guaranteed results on the what. So again, right now, write down. The reason I say right now is because so many people watch this and they say they'll do it after, and it doesn't happen after. So it's like, if this is like an audio program, I could hit pause. So write down your who, write down your what, what's the desire, what's the pain, and actually write down the guaranteed result. And then if you don't have results, just start to ponder about it a little bit. Don't get overwhelmed with it. Maybe it's setting a goal. I don't know. Like when I started, I didn't have guaranteed result. I didn't even know what that meant. I had no results. I had no testimonials, and I had no one that. I just had a horrible self-image but I had desire, and I knew these principles that I was taught for success about mindset. Okay, so that's the who, the what, and then the last one's the way. And this is big. The new way to how to solve their problem. This is marketing. The new attractive opportunity versus the old way of doing things. So what can you take that's an old way? Maybe I could just I put down paradigm shift. So maybe instead of saying, hey, I can help you with your mindset, I could say, I'm going to help you change your business by a paradigm shift. Which one sounds more attractive? But you're changing it a little bit, right? Or a lot of it. You're creating something new, like hyper attraction marketing. I could sit on here right now and say, I'm going to help you earn, I don't know, $5,000 in your business and get your first client in coaching business by marketing. And some people would probably, yeah, that sound great, right? Or I could say by hyper attraction marketing. So the question is what's the market hearing right now? Everyone talks about marketing and sales and mindset. So what word can you create, and what value can you add to that method that will make it more attractive, so that when you create content, and you even if you go and do an elevator pitch to someone, and it will make you stand out. Okay, so 2 examples I have for like the way, again, is paradigm shift. That's one I use, and then hyper attraction marketing. And they go hand in hand. I combine both these together, which is really cool. No other coaches do that. So does the way make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to have, you got to stand out from the rest of the crowd. It can be a very crowded space. So, that's super important, having like your own method, your own process, anything like that to make you stand apart, make you different. I love that.
Keep in mind, you are different.
Yep.
Everyone's unique. Okay. Everyone's trying to act like everyone else, right? Stop trying to conform. And that's mindset too. I wouldn't share, when I started out, I wouldn't share certain stories. I wouldn't want to talk about certain things in my life because I had no results. What would people think of me? Or, what if my family saw it? And I just decided like, you got to have like a goal card. That's a whole different thing. I have a goal card here. I'm so happy and grateful with insert your goal. Mine's a money goal by a deadline. You got to write that out 2 times a day. You have to know what you want. So none of this is why mindset's so important. You got to have a goal. You got to write it out multiple times a day through auto suggestions, repeating it and repeating it. It will influence your subconscious mind. It'll give you desire. Because I could tell you all this, if you don't have desire, are you really going to apply it? So I would, that's a whole nother discussion as well. So stay in my lane here, but you gotta know what you want. What do you really want to be, do, or have that steers you and excites you at the same time? And then you'll be willing to go live because you're going to compare whatever's on your goal card or whatever your goal is. You're going to compare it to doing the live. And if it's more powerful, you have more desire towards that goal, the live's very small in comparison. But if you don't have a goal and I go, hey, go live, you're going to go, why would I go live? There's no reason to. And that brings us to the why. So why do you do what you do? I use a lot of, I call it storytelling, content, or selling. So I've lived a lot of stuff. I know I'm not super old, but I really walk the walk. And that's what a lot of people don't do on the internet, or they pretend to. That's the bad thing about the internet. You don't know who's authentic, but you can get a feeling for people. That's why I think it's about relationships. But you don't know, like people could be posting all these things that they did, and who knows if they did it, right? But once you hear them go like live and talk to the person, you can get a better idea. But why do you do what you do? What are the reasons? So start to think of 2 or 3 stories that paint the picture, not paint it. So your dream client can relate. So were you really unhealthy and overweight at one time and you did this amazing diet, you started to go to the gym and now you're this new person? I'm not telling you, you're telling the truth. You want to tell that story because it inspires people. Why do you think I like saying I started no money, no knowledge? Like I thought it was stupid. You think that excites me to say that? No, but it's the truth. So start to think of 2 to 3 stories that paint a picture. And these are really like, I mean, you don't even need 2 to 3. Think of 1 story, right? Let's start smaller. Think of 1 story. And that's the why. I know what it feels like. For me, it's like, I know what it feels like to go through all those things. And I know what it feels like to sit in my job and be underpaid, underappreciated. And, I would party every weekend. I had no goals and I was so sad. And everyone's all doing that. And I'm like, why is most people doing the same thing I'm doing? It doesn't feel right. And then finally I met a mentor, a couple mentors, and I went on this journey. It's the hero's journey. If you've heard of that, it's in all movies. It's like you have a backstory, you have desires, internal, external desires, and you go on this journey basically, and then you have this epiphany. I want to start a business, or I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to help people here because of my experience here. And then you come up with a plan, and the plan is to do this, but then the plan doesn't work, and you hit a conflict. And the conflict, actually, you thought it was a conflict, but actually it led to you having a transformation. You became a different person. You've got better. You got more healthy. You've earned more money. You've helped more people, and then it's earned a sense of achievement too. So achievement is external, and the transformation's inside. So people like transformation, but you can look at your results to know if you had a transformation. So like for me, the achievement would be, whatever money I make and speaking on stages and helping people, and the transformation is I became a new person within. So you start to think about these things. I'm just giving you, and I promise this is like the simple intro. Like it goes much deeper step by step, but this is all you need right now, essentially. So that's it for this. Any comments, Brittany? From you.
No, I know that storytelling is so important. And that was something that initially for me was really difficult. The reason I got into gut health was because of my dad's, situation. I was going to school for nutrition, but my focus really became gut health because I lost my dad, to his gut health issues, and not, we're coming up on, it's going to be 4 years on Sunday. and my dad took his own life because he literally was so sick and the doctors couldn't help him. And for a long time, I didn't want to share that because it was really painful and it hurt. But once I started, opening up about it and sharing, I had people reaching out to me like, thank you so much. Like my doctors have done this, and, thank you so much for sharing your story. I felt like this because my health is so bad. I've thought about taking my own life. Like your story really, helped me. And so, really being yourself and genuine, that comes through to people, and you will attract the type of people that you're looking to attract when you're just honest and, share your story. I mean, it's important. I know that most of us, got into the business of health because of our own issues, right? Like because of whatever we went through. And so we had a change, and then we wanted to help other people. Right. So share that with people. I mean, that's how you're going to get the people that resonate with you, the people that you can help. Just be genuine, be honest, and share your story because it's impactful.
Right. And it's the truth. And we all have our tribe out there. Like there's really a person just waiting for you to, have the courage to do something like that. Cause maybe they're not going to do it. So that's the big thing too, is like, who is going to step up? Like who is going to share this story? And like Dean Graziosi talks about, turn your mess into your message. Maybe you're still in your mess and it's okay. And you're sitting in the background and you don't want to share it yet. That's fine. But at one point you should, once you work on yourself. And it all starts with like just showing up to these. And it doesn't have to be this. It could be to anything that helps you, or going for a cert, or anything that helps you progress. But that's really what it is. And as far as marketing, especially in my industry with coaching or online, people love stories. It humanizes you in a world of people don't know what's real. Like people have all these filters on, and who knows? This couldn't even be what I look like. I don't know. If I had a filter on. Do you ever see those when they're like, I've seen it on, I think, Instagram. He's like holding his phone and he like takes off. He has a fake hand, I guess. And he's like, that's not even real. And this is not even what I look like. And this isn't my voice. And like, it's just like, so it tricks your mind. It's crazy. But that's the 4 W's: who, what, way, why.
Love it. Love it.
All right. I call this the marketing bubble. So in the middle, it depends. I put a couple different options. So like a funnel is really like a website that has one option to click on. We're not going to get into funnels, but if you've heard of like ClickFunnels, lead magnet is something that you offer to the market. It could be like I have a digital ebook and collect someone's email, or it could be like a PDF and collect someone's email, so that you can basically have them in your database and you can provide more value. So maybe they become a client or not. I don't know. Landing page is part of a funnel, a website. So depending what industry, what business you have. And then like what I use a lot too is in coaching is Facebook group. Like I have a Facebook group that I go live in and I provide value in. So the whole point is you have to eventually get to the point, if you're not doing it already, that you're driving traffic. This is all, I'm talking all organic right now. Means none of this is paid. I built my whole business organically from nothing. Obviously it depends what industry you're in. Keep that in mind. I'm talking about coaching. So like a couple examples, you have an email list. Maybe some of you have email lists. You could have it on MailChimp or ActiveCampaign. You have Facebook, affiliates, people that you work with, TikTok. I still have to learn how to do that. Free events. You can you get people into free events and then present them with an offer, or just to provide value to people. Maybe they know someone. That's the big thing too. You're not going to go out there and look like, you are going to look for clients, but they're going to be attracted to you because maybe someone sees that you're providing value, and then you don't know who's watching basically. So then maybe Brittany sees this, and then Brittany says, oh, my friend, Jamal wants to do your event day now, or they saw your post and he wants to talk to you. So keep that in mind. Instagram, podcasts, influencer partnerships is teaming up with other people. So this is just a little example of ways that you can drive traffic, but you need somewhere to drive it to. So I would start to think about that too. That could be a phone call, but you want somewhere that you can continually provide value, I believe, with online marketing as well. So you're going to drive them all to this one source, and then you can kind of at least understand. The only bad thing about like a Facebook group is if Facebook goes down, and your whole business is on there. If Facebook goes down, this whole group's gone basically.
Right.
that's another thing. You gotta give your email addresses to Brittany in case Facebook goes down. She can
We're
help
actually
you.
working on that right now. We're creating a way to do this because yeah, with Facebook, I mean, especially with the things that we talk about, in the group, at any point, Facebook could be like, we don't like what you're saying, and they could shut us down. So we are in the process, me and Chris actually, of getting an email going so that we can still, have another way to keep the group together and to share value and just in case something happens, we're at the whim of Zuckerberg here. So we definitely, it's important to have alternative ways and not to fully rely on, social media. So building an email list is very important.
Yeah. So these are all different ways to do it. So for you, for each one of you, just focus on like what's your major, like if you haven't started, which one makes sense to you? You can look at one of these and just feel it's right. Or if you are started, like which one are you focusing on? And just focus on like one of them. Don't focus. I mean, what I do is like my main ones, I focus on Facebook, but I still post the same content on Instagram and LinkedIn, but I don't make my whole plan about LinkedIn and Instagram. It's about Facebook. So focus and master one and move on. Don't do too many things at once, especially if you're part-time. Like I remember when I was in my 9 to 5 jobs, I stopped going out on the weekends. Like I took, this is a big part of my mindset now is I would literally I would work like 10 to 7 p.m. And I would come home and I work on my business for like 3 hours after working a full 8, 9 hour day. And I would work on the weekends sometimes for my job. And on top of that, I literally gave out. I'm not saying to give up everything. I'm saying you need to invest in your future self. You need to invest in your future. So I did the word sacrifice. People don't like that. Sacrifice, listen here. Sacrifice means to give something up of less value for more value. So I did give up my weekends and partying and all that stuff because it didn't really matter. It was unhealthy. It was based on stupid relationships too. Like not all of them, but a lot of them was like, oh, drinking money. I gave that up to start my business, and I fell in love with that process. So the reason I mentioned that is I didn't have much time back then, but I started to wake up earlier. I stopped watching Netflix. The average American watches over 3 hours of Netflix a day.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Maybe it's 4 or 5 now.
TV. I don't even watch TV anymore because I'm too busy, focusing on things that bring me joy and my health and my business. And, so think about those things. Where are you spending your time? And, I'm right there with you, Dana. It takes sacrifice. I quit, doing a lot of things so that I could build, this business and, making sure you have your priorities, straight. Netflix isn't something that I do anymore. I'd rather be working on my business or, doing yoga or, going to the gym, like different things that provide more value instead of just wasting my time, and not pushing me forward anywhere.
Brittany, how dare you say Netflix is a waste of time? How dare you? Well, and you have to understand this. If you're not in business now, like your business is like your baby. It's like it's your thing that you're creating. So you at first you'll set a goal and it's like you're going after it, but literally you get to the point where your desire is so strong that the goal's pulling you towards it. Like you're being pulled and you're choosing to do these things and they give you joy. And a lot of times, I'm not saying movies are bad and stuff. I think that's great if you need a time to relax and you go do that. But to do that 3 hours a day, every day, 25 hours a week, think about that. It's a lot of hours and a lot of time. And you may say, well, I don't have energy. If you don't have that energy, and obviously there's the whole physical aspect, but you might have to look at your goal. If you have the right goal, it's going to pull you towards it eventually. So I gotta keep saying on the strategy side. See how I always get into that mode too. It's not a bad thing, but anyways, the main thing I said is, so I would use weekends. I gave up Netflix, gave up going out, and I made things happen very quickly, I guess. In the moment, it didn't seem like it was happening fast. But I always, like now, I still act like I still have the mindset of day one. I posted that on my Instagram story. Like I remember if I could just get an hour, if you can just get an hour out of it every day, that's 7 hours a week. And that's how my mindset was when I had a job in 2017 is if I can just get an hour to work on my business. So keep that in mind as you want to carry that urgency. And that's when you're going to get results is applying the knowing. Because I know a lot of people in this group know so much and they're very smart. And I'm not even smart. You're probably way smarter than me, but I do it. I go do the the things that I learn. And that's really the key. And you've heard that before. Knowledge is not power. It's potential power, only power when it's applied. And action is power. Inspired action is power.
Absolutely.
So, you like that?
Yep.
So here we got different types of posts. Unfortunately, I can't show you what they all are, but I'll explain them briefly. And this is what I use for my business. And it's constantly changing, but a transformation post. So I'll do like a before and after picture with my transformation. Now, this is Dana in 2017, or this is Dana at 20 years old, and this is me now in 2020. And it's not to be cocky, it's not to brag, it's to inspire people. And if someone thinks it's bragging, it's just that, it's not your person you want to work with. So you'll attract the right people. So you say like you use your story in that post to paint the picture of the before and after transformation. So that's like one you could think about. Warm market posts. That's really something that just engages. So we all have friends, we all have friends on Facebook, or whether they're friends or not. We have real friends and family and stuff like that. So you want to do certain posts that just draw out and get you started right away. Like if you want to start coaching, you could do like, I'm looking to help 3 people, improve their diet in the next 90 days. Like you could do something simple like that and just post it or send it to 100 people. And what are they going to be mad at you? You're trying to help them for free. Like you could even do it for free or not. I don't know. It depends what stage you're at, right? If you're just starting out, you could do it for free. A storytelling post is basically telling a story. It could be your overall story, like what we described earlier, but it could also, like, I really like social media because I can go out right now this weekend and I can go travel or I can go do something. Now I'm really like pinpointed on experiences and stories. And then I take those and I really tell people online about them. If I got an insight while I was at the gym or I was walking near the lake or I went to this event, I tell that in a story. And that should be going back to this part, the who, what, way, and why. So the who, the story should be based on their desire and what they're paying, and then like a call to action. So at the end of it should be like, oh, like join my Facebook group, or it could be drop a comment below. You need a call to action, okay? Or no one's going to do anything. Or say comment quote unquote health below if you're interested in learning more about a video I created. These are examples of content creation that you can do so that, again, you're not just sitting there like, what do I type about? But again, if you're just starting out, you don't have to do any of these. Just post something. Like step 1, post something. Go live. Like let's break this down to the simplest. Action step number 1, post something. Action step number 2, go live. And you don't even like, these are just like other examples that I can give you. Client success posts is obviously testimonials. Alexandria said, be consistent. Exactly. Momentum for an entrepreneur or anyone in life is huge. You're either growing or you're dying inside. So you want momentum. Client success posts, depending what industry you're in, what results have you gave people? You could do videos, you could do written, you could do screenshots. If you don't have any and you're just getting started, go help people. Focus on that. Go help people and say, I'm going to help you change your diet. I'm going to help you go to the gym. And all I want in exchange is a video testimonial. I'm serious. I'm not just making this up. That's how I got started. In 2020, when I went full-time into my business, and keep in mind, like I was working on it since 2017. Keep that in mind. Like I had no idea what I was doing, and I got mentors. And then in 2020, I started making money in my business 2 years ago. And I remember I put out a post, and I was so scared. I didn't have a coaching degree. I don't have any of that. I mean, I went to college. I have my college degree, and I did some other certificates and stuff, but like I didn't take anything that like teaches you how to coach, because just go coach people. Like I don't get it. like well, why do you need someone to teach you how to coach? Just go out there and just go help people. If you're listening and you want to help people, it's like it's coming from your heart. It's coming from spirit. Go help someone and do that. So you can get free ones is the point. Client success post, and you can use that. Paradigm shift post. So a paradigm shift is just mindset. It's the subconscious mind. So it's something that shifts the way people think. That's what I use. So I'll use like a hook. And know how everyone says like, oh, money's the root of all evil. I think money is good. I hate to bring up the topic of money, but you want, and your example, you want to do something that just like flips it on them so they tune in, and you have to make it true. It's usually based on perception. A call to action post is just simply what I mentioned before. It's a call to action. And then value post or live videos. Just go on there. And that's what I mentioned, Brittany, is to provide some value. I started like 2020, I would literally read a book and think about what I liked. And then I'd regurgitate it in my own words or go live about it. And the cool part is you learn more as you go. So these are very powerful. Obviously, it's like you need to see examples, but this is what I can give you right now. These are powerful posts that I use, and you can cycle through these. So I think that's powerful. And do you do any of these types of posts, Brittany?
Yeah, absolutely. All of them.
Right.
They're all important,
Right.
you know?
So they probably all have different names, but I think like the main thing is having structure to it. So like I have like a social media calendar that I can track it all. So I think that's big too, to bring order to your business or what you're doing. So like do an Excel sheet or reach out to me. I can give it to you the one that I used, the one that I use currently too, and be able to track everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would like that.
I'll give it to you. And for the people, like I mentioned, paradigm shift, we went over this definitely go back last Tuesday or this Tuesday, a couple of days ago. Again, it feels like weeks. It's a mental program that has exclusive control of your habitual behavior, and almost all of your behavior is habitual, 95%.
You want
so that's why it's
guys, oh, sorry, Dana. But if you guys want the replay on Tuesday's call when he talked about all this, just type in the comments paradigm, and I'll make sure to tag you in the video that we did on Tuesday.
Right. And I'm going to go into this Monday too, like we'll mention, because I think we're running out of time here. Alexandra said, have you all heard of Trello? It's a great resource. Trello is really good. And there is a bunch of different types of resources that you can use. I don't even think I can get into the sales part. Well, that was the marketing, guys.
Yeah. We'll have you back if you want to come back. You can come back anytime, because this is really helpful. Everything that you've provided.
Well, let me say this. So for future reference, we'll have to separate each one by everyone. But the sales part comes into this. I'll just say it quickly, so you have a couple minutes. Is you want to catch people's attention. So you want to catch and this is for messaging people. Like I have I engage in Messenger, I have content or just sales calls or anything, or in life. It doesn't even have to be in business. This is important for conversations. You want to catch number one. Are you ready? Step number one. Is everyone ready? Are they ready, Brittany?
Are you guys ready? Yeah.
Put a yes in the comments. There's 8 people here. Should have 8 yeses.
Put a yes.
Or is anyone not ready?
Do we need to slow down?
Is anyone listening?
Oh, Alexandria, she's ready.
Is anybody else ready?
Who else? You guys ready? Ready for this? You got to pay attention.
We're just going to wait here until everyone says ready.
Irene says, let's do it.
2. Okay.
Shelby's ready. Levi's ready.
3.
We got 4 ready here.
Should have 3 more. I got all day, Brittany. I got a couple hours.
Where we at, guys? Where we at? Come on. Are you guys ready for this? You got to be ready.
I'll let them off the hook, but
dropping knowledge.
Let's do this. So number 1's attention. You must catch the prospect's attention. And this goes back, I relate this back to last session I had the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the body, and it was a diagram of a circle for the head with a line across it, and then a circle for the body. And the circle for the head, there was a line across it, and on top is the conscious mind, below is the subconscious mind. And then the body was obviously down below. We call it like the stick person. So keep that in mind. So you must catch their attention. This involves activity of the conscious mind. So that means like if you're going on a call, if you're sending a message, you need a hook. If you're creating content, you need to say something that when someone's scrolling, because our attention spans are less than goldfish nowadays, like, I think that's the stat, 7 seconds or something. I don't know. But you want to catch their attention. So even if you do a call, hey, like, have you heard about this? Everyone here, have you heard about hyper attraction marketing? Like, do you want to lose weight and get healthy? You want something to catch them. And that's like for content and stuff. But number 1 is catching their attention. If you want to go on a date, you got to catch the prospect's you got to catch the guy or the lady's attention. You got to get them to notice you. It's the same thing. So this is applicable to business or your life. Okay, number two, and I can't go too deep today. Number two is interest. You must get them interested in your idea or your offer. And this involves the conscious mind again, but it involves activation of the subconscious, the emotional mind. Oh, yeah, Dana, I'm interested in what you're doing. Let me hear more. You send them a message. Yeah. Do you want to go to this event? Sure. I have this event. Example. I have this event going on. It's a free event. It's true. But well, you got to get them
I'm gonna drop
interested.
that below too, you guys.
I actually do have a free event next Monday. But anyways, you got to get them interested. And then step three is desire. You got to get them in a state of desire to have whatever your solution is. Better health, an online business, earning an extra $2,000 a month, six-figure business, to lose some weight, to gain some muscle, to be on a better diet. You have to get them to have some desire. This involves the activity of their subconscious mind. And so you have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, and then the body. This leads to physical activity. The subconscious mind controls the body. So step four is action. And action is you have to give them a call to action. You have to ask for the order. So this is closing on a call. Like if you can't ask for the order, if you can't say, hey, this is how my program works, this is how much it costs, you can't sell anything and you can't help anyone. Helping equals, sales equals helping. Got to change that in your mind. I never thought that. Yes, Joshua says, yes, we'll talk about that. So you must give the prospect the desire and the instruction to do what you want them to do, to purchase what you have, to actually bring them through that process. And then step number five is results. So you want to let the prospect know they already, they're a client of your company. So if you join my free event, I'm going to say, I'm going to welcome you into the event. I'm going to say, hey, I'm happy to have you here because I am. If they join your program, if they join your offer, if they get a massage from you, you want to make sure that you're of service to them. And now that they're a client of you in a sense, even if they're not paying, you want to make them feel comfortable essentially. So that's five. And then the last one, I know I'm talking fast here. Step six is service. And this is probably, obviously all the rest have to happen in order to get to servicing. And I talk to so many coaches and stuff that they want to help people. They have amazing hearts and stuff, but they don't know marketing and they don't know sales. So they can't help anyone unless they have a huge amount of cash flow and they can hire that out. But I would suggest not hiring. I would suggest really learning this so you become more valuable to the marketplace. You can help more people. You can provide more service. So it all comes back to that. So the last step is service. And you got to make sure that you give them what they wanted. You give them the guaranteed results. You help them along that process so they don't leave whatever your business is and they don't go somewhere else. Or they don't say, Dana stinks. He just sold me his program and then he didn't do anything after. Or they bought your health program and you didn't actually provide value in it. And that's the key is that's when you get, 100 raving fans or 1,000 raving clients. And that's all you need in business, essentially, is that. So that's wrapping things together with marketing. We'll call it the intro of marketing and the intro of sales.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dana. That was so much knowledge, so helpful, so beneficial. If you guys enjoyed this, let us know in the comments. Tell Dana thank you. Go give him a follow on Instagram, on Facebook. And then let's talk about if you guys enjoyed this and you want more, what do we got going on starting next week, Dana?
It's actually in the process right now, but starting next Monday, June 13th to June 17th, live, in my Facebook group, I have a 5-day formula to grow an online coaching business. So this is for people that say that you have a bunch of knowledge and you want to learn how to earn money and help people online this year and just get started. That's for you. Or if you're doing coaching or you've earned money online, you have clients, you want to learn how to get better on your offer essentially and go high ticket on your coaching, learn about sales, and learn how to essentially attract more people to you, more clients, but just overall. So I'm combining the concept I talked about, paradigm shift mindset, with hyper attraction marketing together. So I'm going to break this down next week, 5 days, probably an hour, but knowing me, probably an hour and a half. Each day, there's going to be recordings in the group. So really, if you want to start out and grow exactly what I did to grow a six-figure business, have over $30,000 a month sometimes, and really help people It doesn't matter if you're in the health industry, the wealth, or the relationships. This may be for you. But again, like Brittany mentioned, it's going to take some work, but just showing up to this, it's free. So that's what I have next week starting Monday. So if you're interested, I'm sure we're going to put the link. Brittany, we're going to put the link in
Joshua
here.
already got us. Joshua put the link in for us already.
Oh,
He's
Joshua.
right up here.
Joshua put the link.
We got it. Cool. So yeah, if you guys want to sign up for that and join, we'll also put the link to your Facebook group too, Dana, so that people can join your group.
For sure. So click that link, register. It's going to go to my Facebook group anyways.
Oh, perfect. Okay, cool.
If for some reason it's not working, just reach out to me. And yeah, we're going to dive super deep. So
awesome.
I'll talk a little bit slower.
Thank you. Everybody said thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge, Dana. And like I said, you can come back anytime and come provide value in the group. You are more than welcome.
We gotta do one that's just like a conversation off the head.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
That'll be our next one.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope it was super valuable. Join Dana's challenge. I'm going to try to make it. I already told you that. I think it's going to be super valuable just with the knowledge that you shared already and diving deeper into that. I think it's going to be amazing. So super excited for that to get started, and we will see you guys later. Have a good one.
Right. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.